Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy Michael Griggs, and welcome back to another match reaction. A little different this time because we're live, and that's not a pre-recorded one. And I'm doing this special occasion because the kind of result that we just witnessed at Old Trafford had to do it like that. And usually I do my match reactions by myself, but I'm like, nah. And that kind of win late at the death, Scotty too hotty with the game-saving, kind of season-changing, defining potential. We'll talk about that. I'm like, let me go onto Twitter. Let me throw it out to the people. Anyone that wants to come on, open floor for them. And so far, 2 people have responded. My boy Param, all the way from Australia, where it's like 4 a.m. over there. That's a real grind. People say the match going fans and all that. That's the real grind. 4 a.m. watching Man United.
Thank you.
Not many other people would
Thank
actually
you.
do that. I probably wouldn't be doing that 4 a.m. That might be a little too early for me. I'll do 7:30, but not 4 a.m. Param, how you doing, my guy?
I'm good, bro. Happy we got the dub, but that's pretty much all I'm happy about. Spent the whole month in Manchester, didn't get to see any wins. I land today, last minute win. Yeah, that's my luck for you.
They might say you were jinx. Who knows? No. They say you might be the problem, man. I'm joking, but nah. And my boy SB, how you doing, my guy?
Nah, I'm all right, bro. Honestly, this morning I was already pissed off by that Ferrari performance in Qatar, and I was seeing we're 1-0 down at halftime. I was like, am I going to put this game on? So I had to put the game on anyway. Still pissed off. Still can't believe the state of some of our midfielders, but, well, one of our midfielders showed up today, so good for us.
Yep. All right, and then let's start going into it. So first of all, we'll start with the lineup. The main changes we had Maguire and Johnny Evans. That was the big changes. Yeah. Obviously Rafael Varane is injured again. Shocker. This guy doesn't the last 5 games without getting injured. Who would have thought? So Harry Maguire comes in, Johnny Evans comes in. This kind of
I think Maguire was good today, bro.
He was.
I was happy with it. I think that pushes him above Lindelof in the pecking order. You guys agree?
Yeah,
I know he should have been above Lindelof regardless. Lindelof is probably the most overrated player by that time in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I don't mind it too much because he's a backup, but yeah, I think Maguire did enough.
Yeah, and then obviously Johnny Evans, Carrington lad, like I said, Carrington to the end, man. That's what we gotta do. And then Amrabat went into midfield, obviously. Front 3 didn't change, so those are really the main changes. Dallo right back, Lindelof moves to left back. We'll talk about him as well. So what were you guys' initial reactions to the lineup in terms of the center back pairing change before you actually saw?
Yeah.
I didn't really mind, to be honest, because it was inevitable Varane was going to get injured. I was just hoping it happened after people were back, but I didn't actually mind the centre backs. I think our centre backs, in terms of apart from Lindelof, I think our centre backs have generally been okay, no matter which ones we pick. I was more worried about Lindelof at right back than the actual centre backs.
Yeah, I can't complain too much with Johnny Evans. It's like Udonis Haslem minutes right now. I can't there's not much I can expect, and he's doing all right. So, and I'll take that. But Amrabat in midfield, bro, it makes a world of difference. I feel having him in midfield, all those duels, all those cutbacks, he's there at least. And I can't rely on much in the midfield, but I can rely on him at least being the all-energy midfielder that we need.
I thought he was pretty mid first half, but in the second half he kind of started keeping it ticking. In the first half, he was it felt like he was kind of adjusting to playing in midfield for 45 minutes because he wasn't getting on the ball enough. He wasn't being progressive. He's not progressive enough, I think, generally.
No.
But at least in the second half, he was properly keeping it ticking. So hopefully, when we get Menu back, hopefully Menu can be the more progressive one.
Yeah, so that was the lineup, and then we started the game. I thought we started okay. It wasn't the best start. I thought we started a little better in other games, to be honest, but we were sustaining pressure. And then calamity in the back, pretty much how we concede every goal these days. I don't remember the last time we conceded a goal where I'm like, you know what? Fair play to the opposition, good goal. We just concede. We concede in ways that I concede on FIFA. That's what it feels like. So yeah, that's what I feel we conceded. And in that goal, Casemiro. Someone that you guys all see my tweets. That guy might be the worst player I've ever seen. And for the goal, he was kind of at fault. He's kind of the one that made the initial wrong pass, and then Brentford attacked. Lindelof was one of the weakest clearances you'll see, but that's weak. And then Onana. Before we get into Casemiro and Lindelof, Onana, he's been under heavy criticism. Obviously, we replaced our number one goalkeeper for the last decade, David De Gea, which was a good thing, to be honest. Everyone knows about that. But we replaced him with someone that also seems that he cannot save a shot right now. It seems like every time the ball goes on target, it's gonna end up in a goal. Did you guys like criticize him? Did you guys think he was at fault for like the goal? Like, did he play?
Yeah,
any fault?
100%.
There's no copium. There's no. Remember the West Ham goal we conceded last year with De Gea? How people were saying, "Oh, it's maybe lost fault for not closing it down." Like, no, like, let's be real. It is the keeper's fault.
Param?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I didn't think he was this bad at shot stopping, which makes me think it's a form confidence thing. But like,
he wasn't.
I hope it disappears. But like, the lights are bright at Old Trafford, man. Like, I don't know how you fix someone's confidence after probably the worst start I've seen for a keeper in a while. Like, there's been Kepa, there's been a few guys in the league, but this is one of the worst keepers in the league right now. As much as I love him, as much as I think he'll be good once he sorts his shit out, but like right now, like, he's not good enough. Like, full stop for me.
It's just annoying with the amount of money we spend on players, because we spent 50 odd on him when we sold Kovar and Henderson, which we could have kept for free on cheaper wages, and they'd probably be performing better right now.
I mean, did you really think it would be this bad with Onana?
No, obviously not. Yeah, no, obviously not. I was expecting him to be like a slightly worse Edison. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, like the grass is going to be green on the other side. Like, look at where we are. We're mid-table. Like, we there's a million things we could have done slightly different, and we'd be much better position, I guess. But I don't think it's too bad. Like, no one could have predicted Onana has jelly wrists like this badly. I don't think there was anything in the film. What was there, Michael?
It's not even like just the mistakes that are leading straight to goals. It's like his parrying is so worried. Like, he always sends the ball into like dangerous areas. 1 and 2, he always like has to, like, when he tries to catch like the ball, he has to take like 2 or 3 chances to catch the ball. It's like so unnerving.
Yeah. I hear you. Michael, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my
guys? Just on the Onana point there, I saw someone point out, I think it was Jack Fawcett pointed out at like halftime, that Onana has had these consistent issues only with, for us this season, only with really low down hard shots that he needs to get down to the ground with, and it's something to do with how he sets up his body.
Yeah, I saw a tweet about that like a few weeks ago. How he's really set really late.
But at the same time, like, look, Onana made a mistake. He's done a bad thing. It's awful goalkeeping. I'm not going to defend it by any means, but we're not doing him any help whatsoever in terms of our defense in general. You know, like, there's two mistakes.
Too many shots.
There's two mistakes in the build up to that. There's the Casemiro awful pass, and there's the Lindelof terrible clearance where he just dives to the ground then afterwards and completely takes himself out of the play. So it just. I had tweeted like 3 or 4 minutes before, Onana, I love you, my dude. I still love you. It's okay. And then immediately, obviously, that happened. So look, I still love him. He still did some great things today. Let's be fair to him. Like, there were some really big saves towards the end of the game that he made. His passing was fantastic. There's that one ball he played long. The ball that he played long and picked Bruno out from the other end of the pitch. Absolutely amazing stuff. So he does contribute well in certain areas, but there is obviously some issues that he needs to solve as well. And that's the same with every goalkeeper. I mean, De Gea, when he started out, like, people forget this about De Gea when he started out, but he was fucking dog shit with crosses. He could not catch.
Yeah.
Obviously, he still can't catch a high ball. He never.
United fans complain about the hair crosses now. The hair crosses in 2012 were literally like playing a 12-year-old in goal.
Exactly, yeah. So and they just like people kind of forgot about that over time because he was a brilliant shot stopper, and then he kind of lost that ability. I don't know where that went, but every goalkeeper when they come into the league is going to have an issue with something, and it's about how a team covers for those issues because every player has an issue. You know, not every player is going to be absolute perfection. So it's how a team covers for the issues that player has, and then subsequently how the player then makes up for those issues in how they play. So Onana has the potential to be better. He will be better. We just got to give it time. He's making some mistakes, but now that the team has had a big moment, maybe we'll push on to better performances, and Onana will be better from that.
Yeah. Moving on to someone that was also at fault for the goal, Casemiro. Thankfully he got hooked in the 45th minute. That was a big call from Ten Hag to make, something I applaud him to make. I was very happy about that. I remember tweeting in I think it was March. I retweeted the tweet today. I said by next season, Casemiro and Varane need to be phased out. I got booed, which is typical for me on Twitter. I get booed every day, but it's fine. You take what it is. And today he's continuously showing why he needs to be phased out. I said he's arguably right now our worst player because he actually doesn't do his job at all. Like when Bruno and Rashford lose the ball, I understand them more because they're more of the high risk, high reward players. They're in the attacking positions. They're the ones that are meant to be creating chances. Casemiro's job is as a defensive midfielder is to recycle the ball, clean up your attackers and your other midfielders' mistakes, and just push on from there. Instead, he's more of a striker. In another life, this guy is a striker somewhere. I'm sure in his dreams, and even if he plays like FIFA, he puts his guy up top. He doesn't know how to do anything other than that. Like I was seeing him on the right wing doing crosses, bro. I should never be seeing that. So, but Ten Hag hooked him. Do you think that Ten Hag is maybe like losing patience with him because obviously we have another DM now in Amrabat, someone that Ten Hag really wanted. It's not like the club wanted Amrabat. That was purely a Ten Hag sign, and we all know that. Kobe Mainu, we all know is Ten Hag's gem right now. He loves him. In the preseason, he was one of his mainstay players until he got injured. So do you guys think that Ten Hag is ultimately like losing patience with Casemiro, or we might be seeing more times with Casemiro like actually getting dropped?
You know how he's suspended for Copenhagen? Is that game before or after our next Premier League game?
It's after.
But I was going to say, if it was before, and obviously we'd be forced to not play, so let's say we played Manu and Amrabat in that game, and then they play well, then that's like literally the death blow of Casemiro. But obviously, if he's going to have to play the game before, it's a bit different with Ten Hag, because Ten Hag kind of like, he doesn't actually drop players fully that often. If you think, like, if you go through some of United, how many players have he fully dropped after like they played back for a period of time? It's only really Sancho and Ronaldo.
That is true. That's a fair point. So who knows, man? But it was good to see him get hooked after 45 minutes. I think Ten Hag.
Yeah.
You even see it on the. I know a couple of people that obviously go to Old Trafford. And they see Ten Hag on the touchline. They see him like when Casemiro does that stupid clip pass that he does where he gets it first time.
Yo, the first time off around the corner is the most annoying thing in football.
Yeah, honestly, but it was good to see him hooked. Obviously, and then halftime came. Obviously, that was the one change, and then second half started. One player I thought started the second half really well is Marcus Rashford, who is not the most favorite player right now in Man United fan base. He was getting booed off when he got. Actually, no, he was getting cheered off when he came off because he was getting subbed off, not because like they thought he did good. So for me, it's getting toxic around Marcus Rashford right now. He's someone.
I'll correct that slightly. They cheered Garnacho coming on rather than Rashford coming off. It's not a commentary on how Rashford did or anything from the crowd. They just were happy to see Garnacho coming on. That was all it was.
Very. But I thought that he shouldn't have come off. I thought he was bright to start the second half. There's just one pass that Rashford loves to do, especially when his fullback is healthy, like Alou Shaw. That underlap that the fullback does, that Rashford kind of waits and picks it out. That's like the Rashford staple. And he's done it for me like 10 times in the last 3 matches. Like he's picked it out. But we have no left back right now because they're all injured. So like for me, Reguilon would be Eden right now if he was fit. Luke Shaw, that pass, he'd be getting assists. But it went to Lindelof and Amrabat, and they just don't have the ability to kind of always make that cross across the box. But for me, he shouldn't have gotten subbed off. I thought he looked bright. He's the only one that was threatening in terms of that attack. So do you guys agree with Ten Hag's decision to sub him off, or do you think that someone else should have came off?
I think he was fine on the left wing, to be honest.
I think that was really for Anthony.
He's so isolated, man. He's so isolated in these games. And it was even worse last week against Palace when Amrabat's inverting into midfield. And then you could see it, like, clearly. Like, if Mount or Bruno couldn't link up with him, it was game over. You need that help from the left back, from my opinion. And Lindelof today, like, he tried every now and then, but it's nowhere near, like, bro, I play left back. Like, I'll make that run. I'll last like 10 minutes, but like Lindelof just isn't that.
I actually think it will be useful to start both Garnacho and Rashford. And even if they both drift to the left, they're kind of going to create like an artificial like overlap when one of them is run left. Remember a few years ago, like Martial and Rashford. That's basically what they were doing. They basically both drift to the left, but they'd always create options for each other. Like one will run behind, one will have the ball and pass to the underlap. So I think if we play both Rashford and the Garnacho in this period where Shaw's injured and Reguilon's injured, I think you could do that because our right wing doesn't do anything regardless. So you're not really losing anything by playing two left wingers.
That's fair. To be fair, I think Rashford in this point where he's like struggling, he actually likes to sometimes go on the right because it simplifies the game for him because the angles are different and he can just like kind of just put the ball across the box. The little Højlund assist, for example, that he got on Tuesday came off the right. Obviously the assist that he also should have had to Bruno, the one that he messed up, also came off the right. So he's able to create a lot better off the right because he doesn't have to like cut in or anything. He just had to play the ball across the box. So for me, Rashford added confidence because honestly, Rashford maybe shot the ball once today. That's the first time I've seen him shoot the ball in like 3 weeks, which is something that
it's been bad, bro. It's been bad
to Marcus Rashford. So his confidence is low. Obviously, international breaks upon us, so he's gonna go to England now. Hopefully, he kind of has a couple good international games to get his form back up. Because no matter whether fans like it or not, the best version of Man United that we can see this season has Marcus Rashford in it. It doesn't have him on the bench or just isolated. So Ten Hag needs him to get his confidence back. The club needs him to get his confidence back. And maybe the fans could do a better job of kind of being a little bit, I'm not going to say nicer, but just kind of not getting on his back as much because I'm seeing a lot of heat going to him when I think there's bigger problems in the club. And I know people want to see Garnacho come on because he's obviously a talented player. He has the energy that like a young Marcus Rashford had when he was coming through. So I get, but I would have kept them both on. I would have brought in Anthony to be honest, because for me,
Anthony was useless.
I don't know. I think Anthony, allegations aside and all that, once he came on, he injected a little bit of pace and kind of want into the play. He wanted to get after everything. He wanted to prove himself, and sometimes late in games, sometimes that's what you need in a team. You know, someone that just wants the ball and wants to do things with it.
I mean, doesn't that describe like Tahith Chong, Pellistri, and like every other young right winger we would have had? Like, I don't think that's the standard.
I'm not saying he's he's the perfect player to have on the right wing, and he's the perfect option out there. Right. He was good in the moment today, and like I don't think Anthony is the long term solution at right wing or anything like that. But he was. I thought he was positive when he came on. Now, saying that, would Rashford have been more positive on the right wing? Probably. As you said, like the game is simplified for him when he gets on that right wing. He just knows whip it across the box, and that's all I have to do. I don't have to try and create a goal scoring opportunity or a goal scoring chance for myself from here. It's just get it across, get it onto Højlund's head. So bringing him off and then bringing Martial on, who did absolutely nothing.
He missed a sitter as well.
Yeah, fell into an offside position and cost us a goal, and then just kind of I don't understand. I do not understand Martial
Martial's hilarious because like 2 weeks ago there was a cameo he had. I think it was against Bayern actually. I can't remember who it was against.
Bayern. Yeah.
But he looked like he was 18 again, and I was like, wait, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. The thing with Martial is I think it's like a year and a half, 2 years now. He just hasn't been able to sprint. Like he just hasn't had confidence in his ability to run properly, and he's kind of got that back up recently. But for some reason, he thinks he's a left winger now that he can sprint again. So he keeps dropping into deep positions instead of staying in the middle of the fucking box because he's a striker and we need someone in the box. And so it just kind of isolates everything then. So he'll get the ball out the wing, he'll touch it out to someone, and then there's no one in the box to then to get a header onto it or anything. And it's just... Speaking of support in the box, it's really annoying when I watch Højlund like post up against defenders in the box, but then no one's running off him. Yeah,
because he's drawn like 3 defenders to him, and no one's running off him.
When Eriksen is in the team, he wants to stay deep, so he's not going to make runs off of defenders or off his attacker. If Mount is there, Mount is going to make those runs. This is why I want to see. I posted up there a couple of minutes after full time what I want to see as my 11 after the international break, and I want to see Bruno and Mount as the 8s and just have Amrabat in behind as the DM like he was today. Obviously, if we have Reguilon back at left back, because those two will make those runs. Fernandez less so. He wants to kind of hang outside the box and collect any opportunities that he can. But Mount is going to make those runs consistently in a game, and that's what you need. You need a deep runner off of Højlund when he sets up in those kind of positions. McTominay might not be a bad shout for those kind of positions as well, because he is... Like that's literally what he does.
Is a super sub right now.
No. Look, I'm not gonna say he should start or anything, but that's what he does. Right hand side of the pitch, just let him run off of defenders and crash the box. And
I said this, bro. 4-4-2 with one and McTominay. I promise you, Ferguson wins the title with that. But speaking of Eriksen, Ten Hag came out and was asked about the substitution for Eriksen, Casemiro, and his response was, "I wanted more football." That's a pretty damning statement. That just sums up. That's you know what.
That actually sums it up. That literally sums it up.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of, we spoke about Bruno real quick. For me, I don't think he was good today. I'm not gonna lie.
He was. I mean, he was. It's the usual. It wasn't bad. That was like his worst performance. Yeah, it was a standard Bruno performance. Like you know what you're gonna get from Bruno these days.
Midweek was 10 times worse than this.
Yeah.
Look, it's him playing on the right wing. He's not capable of it. And when he moves back
in the second half, yeah, Mount went to the right wing and was good, which is what we should have been doing from the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, it's just he's never been good at right wing. We know this from last season. I remember I was at the City game last season at home, and that first half he was just being ripped to shreds by what was it? He switched to the left wing, and Rashford was at right wing for a good portion of the first half. It was happening right in front of me where I was sat, and he was just being ripped to shreds by Walker every time because he's not used to having to track runners into the midfield. He's not used to having to track the fullbacks and the wing backs into the midfield. He likes to sit in that 10 and kind of see everything that's going on rather than having to run.
Controlling. Yeah.
And it's better for him, it's better for the team, better for him if he can see everything that's going on, so we should it's better to have him at 10 and stick Mount up on the wing, because at least, look, Mount has a bit of pace and he can actually take defenders on the right wing as well,
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, well, the thing with Ten Hag now is like when Manu comes back, especially, he has no shortage of midfielders. He has plenty of midfielders to pick from. That's probably the one position that we're the deepest in right now. I'm not saying that they're all quality and everything, but he kind of has a mesh of profiles. To all of them are different from each other. Like no one's like Bruno in the midfield. He's the only one that's like chief create. All like Mount and Hannibal are a little bit more similar. Mine was probably a little bit more similar to like Amrabat, and then Casemiro's his own kind of profile.
Yeah. Let's not.
I'm gonna leave that to like the tacticals. They could describe Casemiro to me. I'm sure Umir has something like called special for Casemiro. I'm sure he has a name quick enough for him. But yeah. So obviously McTominay scored the 2 goals. That was nice. Kind of a nice little scripture because obviously Sir Alex Ferguson's wife died yesterday. May she rest in peace. Then you have someone McTominay who a lot of us call it like Fergie's grandson, the Scottish connection, the picture of like McTominay with Ferguson when he was like 5 years old. So that's kind of like a little storybook. I'm sure the Premier League script writers had that cooking up a little bit for them. And yeah, he got the goal. It was actually kind of ironic. If you guys remember the Newcastle result in 2018 when Martial and Pogba kind of dragged Mourinho, like saved his job. Today it was kind of like Maguire and McTominay, 2 players that Ten Hag clearly wanted out in the summer. There was no question about that. He wanted their sales, but it just didn't happen. And Maguire got the assist for the game-winning goal by flicking it on to McTominay. And McTominay, bro, I'm telling you, this guy is a 9. Whoever in Carrington was scouting him and coaching him and somehow made him a center mid, I hope their badges are taken away from them. I'm not even joking. I hope their coaching badges have been revoked by UEFA because this guy is a 9. He's been a 9 his whole career, probably. Scotland, I'm pretty sure he's the top goal scorer of UEFA qualifiers. I don't know how that's even possible, but this guy's a poacher. He's in the when he gets in the box, bro. He's gonna find a way to score a goal.
Bro, so for that first goal, just the touch inside the box, like it's not just like your usual headed goals from like a defensive midfielder. Like he's actually got a bit of touch, a bit of finesse about him in the box. Like he's got it in terms of the finishing package for me inside the box.
Anyone else want to speak on McTominay real quick?
He's I wrote a piece about him February where I described him as an enigma, and I think it's the perfect way to talk about him. You can't really put him into a box and say he's this or he's that. He has specific things that he's very good at, and look, it doesn't make him a United player long term, I think. But for when you need those specific things, like we did today, he's perfect. Passion, leadership when he gets on the pitch. He's great for it, and just getting himself near the ball, he'll go for it every time. That's what he's great at. But long term, obviously, he's not for us. But yeah, he did great. Scored the goal. Did you see what Ten Hag said about subbing him on? No.
Yeah, somebody like the desire, like something about.
Oh no, he said that Luckhurst, after putting it up on Twitter, he said that when he put him on, Scott came back over to him after the game and said, I didn't hear what you had told me to do. I just ran straight onto the pitch. And Ten Hag said, I said to score 2 goals. So
I think that Ten Hag knew when he put on McTominay for that kind of reason, because like we've seen McTominay do that before. I remember, I think was it
in the FA Cup once.
The FA Cup, the Cypriot team last year when we beat them in the Europa League at 1-0, where we like had like 55 shots on target, and then McTominay's like the final one I scored. That's kind of what McTominay does. I promise he's a better striker than Anthony Martial. Give me 10 shots for each of them. I promise you McTominay scoring more than him. But in terms of like what the result can mean, obviously international breaks coming up, like we said. We're saved from the hit pieces on Ten Hag and Man United for the next 2 weeks. I don't have to read all that, thankfully. I'm sure Luckhurst had a lot of stuff in his drafts loading up. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Do you guys think that this can be like a season-changing victory? Because we had a similar one against Forest where we kind of got like that 2-0 comeback. We came back, and then we've only won like 2 games since that match. But do you think maybe like international break coming up, so these guys get a little bit of a break, so they're going into like into the break with like a nice little mood in their spirits. They're gonna go to their countries. All our players love going on international break because the toxicity's kind of gone away from them. They can just relax and coming back. Obviously, like we said, Mainoo's coming back. I'm sure that's gonna lift the spirits a lot because he's not only is he a fan favorite. A lot of our players like really rate him highly. They also in preseason. Anyone else coming back at Regulon, right? I think he's the only one.
Regulon. Yeah.
So
Regulon.
A left-footed left back because right now
Ahmad as well.
Player.
Ahmad on right wing as well.
Ahmad, yeah, but he's got a plan for me too.
Yo, honestly, he cannot be worse than Anthony. And Pellistri. He cannot.
Hey, he can use both feet, so he's automatically immediately better.
Yeah, he's got a plan for me too. So we're getting our pieces back, and it's kind of good that the Copenhagen match is like kind of straight away because it's a must win. It's at Old Trafford. And just one win in Champions League might actually get the.
We are in serious trouble in the Champions League. Actually,
yeah, we need
to win every game
because we need to win in Istanbul.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
We probably need to be down as well.
I think that result can be equivalent to the Garnacho winner late against Fulham last year, where it really galvanized our season afterwards. It's just such a huge moment and such a positive moment for, first of all, Ten Hag, who's had been thrown through the ringer multiple times over the last couple of weeks, and finally getting that win, getting it in such a significant kind of circumstance and everything like that. It's going to be huge for his confidence as a manager, bringing on a sub and saying, and like he's able to point to it and say, my bringing on that sub won the match for us, Actually,
I probably compare this more to the Liverpool game that we won last season.
Yeah,
we were terrible before that as well.
Yeah.
Could be that as well. Yeah. I was more so going with the last minute winner kind of vibe, but Liverpool as well it's a huge one, and it really kickstarted the season for us. I thought Arsenal was going to be that a couple of weeks back for us. It had the potential to be.
That would have. If we win that game, I don't think this is gonna happen. If we won that game, this is not happening right now.
No, not at all.
I genuinely think that Arsenal game is what has like destroyed that season.
Mm-hmm.
I said this, bro. If we win that game, I think we're competing for Premier League, but we lost it.
Yeah.
That's the finest margin of
fine margin.
But at the same time, these things happen for a reason. Like this is like Arsenal. The Arsenal loss. It might have ended up papering over some cracks of like, oh well, maybe we don't need to move on Casemiro. Maybe we don't need to move on and get another right centre back for Varane or anything like that. So, these things happen for a reason. It'll be a better off thing for us over time. It's such a significant result going into the international break. We don't have to listen to this main bullshit coming out from Neil Custis and the Sun and everything like that, just making up stories. We can relax our minds, and the players can relax their heads as well. That's the thing. They don't have the whole pressure going on with them over the next week and a half or so. I'm really happy.
I'm gonna hold off on like the optimism until I see like the lineup without Casemiro. To be honest, like we're versing Sheffield away, one of the easiest fixtures out of the 38 we're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try change it up, this is the
time. Look, Mainoo's back into training as of this week. He came back in this week, so he'll be ready for game time as of the Sheffield game. So
even if you just want
this was our first game last year.
Yeah.
Is that at home?
No, it's away to Sheffield.
Away, yeah.
Away. I mean, come on,
it's
man.
Sheffield United. Come on.
With this team, I'm not saying any game's an easy dub.
Come on, man.
As an Ireland fan, big ups to Johnny Egan and everything like that.
We should be beating. We need to beat them because our goal difference right now, I'm pretty sure, is like a -3.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I would like to get into the positive goal difference. That would be a nice change.
Did you guys see the injury today in the Sheffield game?
Yeah, I think Bastion.
Bro,
no, I didn't see it.
That was fucked.
That was
his ankle and his foot, everything is just the wrong way.
Ugh.
Yeah, but have a look if you want, but I don't recommend it.
But yeah, I mean, we all kind of in the same agreement that this has the potential to be a season like kind of changing.
Let's wait and see, bro.
But yeah,
I've been hurt too many times before.
Hopefully all our players stay fit during international break. That's the first thing. Knock on wood. I would really like that. I would not like any other fullback because Lindelof got injured today, so that means we're down another defender.
Yep.
Probably the one I would probably. It's gonna sound mean, but probably the one I would have chosen to kind of like go down because I think he's probably the least useful one out of all of them because I just don't rate him. But
so weak on the ball. I cannot understand.
I can't say what I actually want to
back and having no strength.
Yeah, he's just, bro. I just don't think he's good. But like I said, season-defining win. Thank you for anyone that tuned in. Big up to these three guys for joining as well. I appreciate that.
Big up.
I'm about to go live on Staffy TV, so I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes there. I'll be there. In terms of what I have coming up, I have an article that I'm writing today. Hoyland inspired me for this, kind of going over the timeline of the number 9s and how it changed due to Pep, but now it's kind of coming back low-key due to Pep because this guy's gone back to the little man, big man partnership with Julian Alvarez and Haaland. Kind of we're seeing a little revolution of the 9s, thankfully, thank God. And Hoyland is for me at the spearhead of that because we didn't talk about him today, but I thought he was good today. He put in a shift, which is what you want in your striker when he's not scoring.
Fundamentals.
And he maybe with a little bit of service he would have done something, but he did good, especially because Ethan Pinnock, like I said, that dude's no joke as a center back for a striker to go up against because he's strong, he's physical, he's tall. So Hoyland did the best he could against someone, especially because he's young, so he still has a lot of like stuff to work on, but his base is good, and that's what the most important thing is. So, yeah. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Again, thank you for these three guys for coming on. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Subscribe to Talk.